place where you can go, where there's no one to tell you yes or no. If you just look into your heart, you will find there. That's the place to start. If you take a step and take another again, you'll find a better place to land. I know that it can be there someday. You've been waiting for. I know this life can be that one life you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Today could be the someday. Today could be the one day. Today could be the someday you've been dreaming of. Oh, 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 today could be the day. Today could be the day.
I'm the owner of Volunteer Home Mortgage. We are a locally owned and operated mortgage broker company located in Maryville, Tennessee. I love meeting people and just being here for them. We provide all types of mortgages. You just give me a call at 865-238-7500 and online at volunteerhomemortgage.com.
It's time for Wake Up with Witcher. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
Well, good morning. Happy Sunday, everybody. Sure hope you had a great day yesterday. Today's going to be turning out to be a beautiful day, but a major pattern change is on the way tonight and through the day tomorrow. With a line of strong to severe thunderstorms possible, damaging winds and tornadoes can't be ruled out. And then tanking temperatures on Monday with some snow showers developing around the area. Ann says, what? Hold on a second, Ann. Hold on. It's not going to cause any major issues, but it is going to be bone chilling tomorrow with wind chill values only in the 20s and low 30s. That's the kind of day we're talking about. So even more of a reason to get out and enjoy the beautiful weather here throughout the day today. All right, so let's start you off. First things first, we'll take you outside. A live look there from East Tennessee. That's a live look in Anderson County, downtown Clinton. Now, mostly cloudy skies are going to be with us throughout the day today, but we are talking about the wind starting to pick up throughout the day, so it's going to be a rather windy day. But that's going to help to boost our temperatures back into the 70s throughout the day. So let's talk about yesterday for just a moment in time. Made it to 73. I was forecasting 71, so not too bad. The record was 85, set back in 1990. So we've had warmer days, and that's going to be the case here for the day today. But we are talking about near record low temperatures as we get into our Tuesday and potentially Wednesday morning. So here's the big setup, okay? We're going to dive into a lot. So grab a cup of coffee here this morning and strap in. We've got a lot of information to pass along to you. If you've been with me for the last couple of days, I've been showing you these maps. Big old deep trough digging its way in from the west-northwest, and it's got a lot of cold air behind it. It's got a lot of energy behind it as well, or out ahead of it. And even by 7 o'clock here tonight, you're going to see showers and thunderstorms and the potential for severe weather to break out across Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, West Tennessee, and down into northwest Mississippi. That's through 7 o'clock tonight. So smooth sailing throughout the day today, except for the wind. At the surface, we've got a strong cold front pulling in a lot of warm, moist air. And so the dew points are going to continue to climb. And so dew points are going to be in the upper 50s to low 60s. We need dew points to really be in the 60s for that severe weather potential to really ramp up. And we're going to be close. Now, if this were the month of April, as I mentioned yesterday, it could be a totally different story. We'd probably be talking about a lot more active weather, but it is going to be active for sure. When you look at forecast instability, CAPE, convective available potential energy, we've got a nice surge of buoyancy in the atmosphere. That's the buoyancy. When you look at energy helicity index, that takes into account spin and instability, CAPE. And so that gives us an idea if you have supercell thunderstorms developing, they're going to start to rotate. And so we have a little surge of helicity values increasing as the cold front approaches the area. So the Storm Prediction Center has changed a little bit. Their severe weather outlook here for the next 24 hours. This goes from in effect this morning, right now through tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. So this is a 24-hour severe weather outlook anyways. And so we've got a level 1, level 2, level 3 risk painted across the area. So when you look at your severe weather potential here locally, they have expanded, if you saw my forecast last night, and that's why it's important to check in when severe weather or inclement weather moves in, to check in on those full forecasts on the East Tennessee Weather app, because I really break everything down. But the Storm Prediction Center has expanded that risk level for most of East Tennessee under a level 2 risk. Happy Sunday, Pam. How are you this morning? So when you break it down into different categories, severe wind is going to be the major player. So damaging wind gusts. We've got a very strong low-level jet at 5,000 feet that if we tap into that energy, it's going to transfer all those winds down to the surface. And you can see a level 3 and level 4 for damaging winds back off to our west in the middle Tennessee. So this storm's going to ramp up across the entire state. So if you have friends and family members, if you have elderly folks, moms and dads that live in other parts of the state or around the region, remember with the East Tennessee Weather app, you can actually add different locations to the app itself and stay on top of the weather other locations, and so you can notify your friends and family members there. We do have a level 1 and a level 2 risk for isolated tornadoes. Notice where the brown shaded area is. That's going to be a little bit more of an elevated area or risk level for seeing some localized spin-ups, I should say. So that's a 5% probability, but that's an elevated probability, and that's where we have the majority of our instability and the majority of our spin in the atmosphere. All right, so when you break it on down, we've got the medium category when it comes to damaging wind gusts. Probably going to usher, I may jump that up to a high category. Let me see what some of the models do here for the day today. But a low category when it comes to tornadoes, but that category is still in the possibility. So it is in the realms. We have spin that's going to be moving its way on in. A small hail possible, but hail's not going to be a major player in this. Localized flooding and flash flooding isolated in nature. So today, warm and windy with a strong cold front approaching the area. Strong to severe thunderstorms after midnight tonight. That's important to know. And then Monday morning, rain changing over to some light snow as colder air comes racing on into the area. So, all right, let's get to work with the Futurecast. Let me time everything out for you. Here's your 24-hour temperature change this morning. We're running anywhere from 6 to nearly 20 degrees warmer. A little bit chillier in the valley locations in the 40s, but other locations are in the 40s and even 50s and even a few pockets of 60s. Now, forecast highs are going to be fantastic. So it's going to be a fantastic day to be outside. If you need to, if you're doing some spring cleaning around your house, not a bad day to do so because you're not going to want to do it tomorrow. Plus, we're going back to work and school. For a lot of kids, or a lot of kids are going on spring break, I know, next week. So let's pick up our timeline at 7 o'clock here tonight. We're going to be doing just fine. So we are rain-free through the entire day. But as we get into the midnight hour, here comes our strong storm. So that's going to start to work its way on into the area from midnight through about 2. Across the Cumberland Plateau, start to work its way into the valley location, and it's right along that leading edge. So probably after 2 o'clock, Fentress, Cumberland, say Bledsoe County, the Sequatchie Valley is probably going to be doing just fine with some heavier rain, but it's the leading edge of this system that we need to watch closely. From 2 to 4, it races off to the east, and notice how that line really weakens. So it's going to run into less instability, and so the line will continue to weaken from west to east, which is classic for us here in East Tennessee. You always get stronger thunderstorms and a better potential for severe weather across the plateau than you do in upper East Tennessee. That's just the nature of where we live, based on latitude and longitude and how those storms all evolve in the southeastern U.S. But by 7 o'clock in the morning, heading off to work, heading off to school, heavy rain's going to be with us. This has kind of been slowed down and pushed back a little bit further to the west from what I was even talking about yesterday. We do have the potential for some of this colder air to catch up to some of that main moisture source on the backside, where we could see a quick little bout of some wet, heavy snow first thing in the morning across the plateau. Heavy rain moves its way on out, probably around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Colder air races on in, a couple surges of moisture moving its way on in, and that potentially could produce some light snow showers throughout the day. So snow and blowing snow is a possibility throughout the day on Monday. Sorry. Right? All right. So rainfall totals, we're talking about close to an inch of rain. So that's why flooding and flash flooding is going to be on the lower side. But let's talk about the snowfall forecast here for a second. Now, this is the NBM National Weather Service blend of models. It's an ensemble, so it gives us a good idea of who's expecting the the highest snowfall total. So I've thrown snowfall on there. Now we may see some light snow around Knox County up the I-81 corridor, flurries down across the Southern Valley, half an inch or less across the Cumberland Plateau, 2 to 4 possible across some of the highest peaks of the Smokies, 1 to 3 in other locations of the Smokies, and up and towards the Tri-Cities area. I think less than a half an inch across the lower elevations. The higher elevations, maybe 1 to 3 possible up towards, say, like Irwin and the Cosby area. But when you take in melting and compaction, and melting because we've had some warm ground temperatures, well, we're not looking at any accumulating snow necessarily in the valley. Now, we may see a quick little bout here or there across the I-81 corridor, rooftops, grassy areas, no travel troubles whatsoever. Half an inch and less, again, across the grassy areas, rooftops, back dirt roads, back decks possible across the Cumberland Plateau, and then again 1 to 3 to 2 to 4 across the higher elevations, the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. All right, as I mentioned, the wind is going to be with us. So this is a very dynamic storm. The pressure gradient is going to be tightening. The lines of equal pressure, those are called isobars. Those are those white lines you see on the weather maps there. The wind's going to be increasing throughout the day today, upwards of about 20, 25, 30 miles per hour at times today. But as the cold front approaches, notice the wind increasing. The wind's going to be gusting to about 35 to upwards of 40, and there may be a brief moment of time that we may see some severe weather because we're going to tap into this wind, but just the wind in general, we may get close to about 45 miles per hour, which would be wind advisory criteria. Now, with that said, the National Weather Service out of Nashville has a wind advisory back to our west, okay, for Fentress and Cumberland County. Weather Service here locally said they may issue a wind advisory for the rest of East Tennessee. But we do have a high wind warning that yesterday morning was a high wind watch. Winds are going to be out of the south 25 to 40, gusting to 60, 65, maybe even close to 70 miles per hour across some of the highest peaks of the Smokies. So it's going to be rough going for the Smoky Mountains. And again, that's going to be transferred down to the lower elevations. So in the foothills, Cosby, Gatlinburg, say Townsend, Wares Valley could see some really strong wind gusts associated with that. So 74 today and tanking temperatures tomorrow. Again, our high temperature on Monday is probably going to be in the 60s just after midnight tonight. By sunrise, rainy and cold. We're down to 43, but falling. I had 38 yesterday. I'm going 36 for an afternoon temperature. It may even be colder, but wind chill values will only be in the 20s and 30s Monday afternoon. Tuesday, the sun returns. And we'll probably see some sunshine by the end of the day Monday, but notice those low temperatures. So near record lows expected. 40 degrees on Tuesday, back to 50, still 10 degrees below average. Average high is 61 for this time of year on Wednesday. More average or seasonable weather returns as we get into, say, Thursday. And then above average weather works its way back in as we get into next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There is a nice little warming trend on the way. And we've been talking about this over the last few days as well. The Climate Prediction Center is predicting the potential for above average temperatures to slowly work their way into the area over the next couple of weeks. This takes us all the way to March 29th. But when you look at precipitation after tonight's rain and tomorrow's snow, we're probably going to dry out a little bit, which is not good news because, of course, we still have that ongoing drought taking shape around town as well. All right. Did you get everything? Lisa says, please, no snow. All right. Well, if it's going to be cold, it might as well snow, in my personal opinion there, Lisa. Good morning, Kathy. How are you this morning? Let's see. I've got from heat to air and then back to heat again. That's the nature of how it all plays out. What's up, Heather? How are you this morning? We could use a cold snap or two or more. The ticks are they're already bad, Crystal? The ticks they're already out? Ugh. Yeah, we could use a couple of quick little cold snaps. So that should help to mitigate some of that. I've got to drive from Kodak to Oak Ridge at 5 in the morning. Not looking forward to that. No, that's going to be super rainy, but not necessarily stormy. Bipolar weather is what it is. Yeah, welcome to springtime, right? Thanks, Laura. I appreciate you. Oh, well, that's awfully nice of you. Thanks, Cynthia. And my thermostat is so confused. Our bodies are going to be confused. Don't put away those winter coats yet. You're going to need those tomorrow. You can submit them on the East Tennessee Weather app. Thanks. So somebody asking about photos, I'm guessing. Well, thanks, Sheila. Geez, you guys are really nice this morning. Where's Witcher's pictures? I haven't talked about him yet. Good morning, Melissa. Grab a cup of coffee, my friends. Here's my wife's mug this morning. I stole it. Let's see. What did Jolene have that got? I never can read this right. What did Jolene have that got Dolly Have that got Dolly, all worked up. I don't know. See if I can't read this morning. By the way, make sure. Okay, so let me just throw this out there for a second. I'm gonna share a couple things here with you this morning, because I want you to have a way to receive weather information. Have multiple ways to receive weather information. Okay, the easiest and best way is, of course, the East Tennessee Weather app. So if you don't have the app, go to your app store. If you're joining me on Facebook this morning, I will throw a link into the chat right now so you can stay on top of the weather. And this, the East Tennessee Weather app gives you watches and warnings, lightning notifications. Now, of course, we are talking about, there we go. I just threw the link into the chat itself. So just go ahead and click on that link in the chat. It'll take you to your app store if you're watching on your cell phone. Or if you're not watching on the cell phone and you're watching on Roku, Amazon Fire, or YouTube, or the website, just go to your app store. Or if you're on the website, you can check in on that as well. So I wanted to start you off first things first this morning with a look at the East Tennessee Weather website. So if you go to the top, that's what it looks like. You can click on those links right there where it says App Store and Google Play, and click on and download the app itself. But what I wanted to point out to you is the 24-hour weather channel is front and center. So when I do live severe weather coverage, if you happen to have a laptop next to your bed, you can go check in on the check in on eastnweather.com. The other cool part about that is not only during my live broadcast, but on the website itself, we do have watches and warnings that do pop up to give. And I know if you're on your cell phone, it takes up a little space. We're still working on fine tuning that, but the point of the story is you're going to get those watches and warnings. Now, if you have the East Tennessee Weather app, make sure that you click on, make sure you allow location services and notifications. And make sure that you allow the East Tennessee Weather app to bust through your do not disturb while you're sleeping, because you'll get all the watches and warnings. I will send out a notification when I do live severe weather coverage. Wow, we've got a lot going on that because I'm broadcasting here and there. And okay, let's get that off of the screen. That took us to infinity and beyond. So multiple ways. Of course, the NOAA Weather Radio is a great resource. It's the voice of the National Weather Service when you're not paying attention or you're sound asleep. They are loud and obnoxious, but there's a reason why they're there that way as well. And don't forget, I've partnered with Weather Call. I will be posting something on that later on today on social media, where you will always get a phone call from me during inclement weather, no matter where you are in the entire country. So this just kind of goes into the aspects of what I'm trying to do with East Tennessee Weather, with the watches and warnings and notifications. It's just another step, another way to receive weather information. All right, so that's what we're doing with that. So just make sure, because this is going to be after midnight tonight, and I will be up late doing severe weather coverage. All right. Even if the storms aren't severe, I'm going to be front and center for you. So if it's rocking and rolling at your house, just tune in, get what you need to know, and go back to sleep. That's what I say. All right, let's talk about your national holidays for the day today. It is March 15th, just 2 days away from St. Patty's Day. And of course, I know we had all the St. Patrick's Day events this weekend. Yesterday, we had the parade in downtown as well. Today, by the way, is National Kansas Day. Anybody on here from Kansas? I almost took a job in Wichita, Kansas. Boy, I'm glad I didn't. No offense to people from Kansas, okay? And did you know that the Arkansas River that runs through Kansas is not called the Arkansas River? Do you know what it's called? It's called the Arkansas River. It's the Arkansas River. All right, everything you think is wrong kind of a day. Everything you think is wrong kind of a day. All right, let's not do that. It's National Pears Helene Day. I have no idea what that is, but it looks like some chocolate over top of a pear. Looks pretty good, I suppose. And today's also National Shoe the World Day. Ooh, donate shoes. Shoe the World Day, that's a good day. Let's talk about a little weather history over the years. In 1990, low pressure crossing the upper Mississippi produced high winds for the northern and central Great Plains, upwards of 79 to 100 mile per hour winds. In 1989, afternoon and evening thunderstorms produced severe weather from Alabama to the mid-Atlantic. Thunderstorm wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour in Virginia Beach and 70 miles per hour at St. Abbins. In 1988, more than 100 hours of continuous snow came to an end, in Marquette, Michigan, during which time the city was buried under 43 inches of snowfall. And in 1987, a winter storm in the western U.S. produced heavy snow in the central Nevada with 23 inches reported. And how about 1941? the most severe blizzard in modern history struck North Dakota and Minnesota. The blizzard hit on Saturday night while many were traveling and thus claimed 71 lives. This is 1941. Winds gusted to 70 miles per hour in Duluth, reached 85 miles per hour in Grand Forks. Snow drifts up to 12 feet high were reported in north central Minnesota. And a cold front traveling 30 miles per hour across Minnesota in just 7 hours. That is insane. Today's daily quote by John Whittier. All the windows of my heart I open to the day. I like that. That's nice. In 1990, the Ford Explorer was introduced to the public. We had one growing up. We had Jeeps, Scouts, and Ford Explorers. That's what my dad drove. In 1956, the musical My Fair Lady opened up on Broadway. In 1938, oil was discovered in Saudi Arabia. In 1937, in Chicago, the first blood bank was established at the Cook County Hospital. And just know, you'll see it in the bottom left-hand side of the screen that I have partnered with Medic Blood Center. And they've got a lot of things going on that I report on with the radio stations. I'm on 25 radio frequencies right here in East Tennessee. In 1892, the New York State unveiled the new atomic ballot voting machine. The new automatic. Let's go automatic. Sometimes it's atomic. Ain't nobody want to vote, but we have to vote. It makes a difference. And in 1493, Christopher Columbus, we're going all the way back to 1493. Christopher Columbus returned to Spain after his first New World voyage. Christopher Columbus on this date in history. 1493. Sometimes it's hard for me to fathom these dates. All right, let's take it back outside. A live look in downtown Gatlinburg, the Smoky Mountains on the left-hand side of the screen. Mostly cloudy skies. Right? I don't necessarily know if we want to see that many Mike Witchers there, Cameron. Carmen. Cameron. There's a Carmen on here. There's a Cameron on here. I get you all confused. Just at a glance, anyways. All right. Good morning, Janet. I want to share, we did have a Witcher Weather Watchers meet and greet yesterday at the barbecue joint just across Jim and Nick's, just across from Westtown Mall. And so a lot of fun. Oh, let's get that bigger. That's not very big. Let's get that bigger. So here are some of the 52, 53, I think we're up to Witcher Weather Watchers. And right there on the right-hand side of the screen in the gray sweatshirt, that is Anthony Cavalucci with the National Weather Service. He came down to visit with us, talk to us about storm spotting and reporting. It was so nice to see you, Anthony, if you're watching this morning, and everybody that joined. And if you're a Witcher Weather Watcher and you couldn't make it, don't worry. We will do another meet and greet at another time. I know life gets busy, but it was great to see everybody, meet everybody. Listen, there's a lot of Witcher Weather Watchers, over 52 of them anyways, that I have not necessarily seen, but they're eyes and ears and boots on the ground for East Tennessee weather. And if you join the Witcher Weather Watchers group, you can do so super easily, by the way. And I'll show you how, if you're interested. If you go to easttnweather.com on the East Tennessee Weather website, at the very top, you don't see it there on the screen, but at the very top under the weather section, you'll see there's a drop-down menu and it says Witcher Weather Watchers. If you click on that, it talks about who we are. See, there's those high wind warnings. So there's the watches and warnings on the website. It talks about who we are. There's our logos, what we do. You got to get your certification. You can email it to me. And you can take the free course with the National Weather Service by hitting that join for free. That takes you to the virtual course with the National Weather Service. It takes about an hour and a half or so. And once you get your certificate, you email it to me, mike@easttnweather.com, and I can bring you into a private group called Witcher Weather Watchers. And you get a free hat and a free t-shirt. So that is pretty cool. Unfortunately, not everyone got it, but I loved how everyone wore their East Tennessee Weather sweatshirts or t-shirts yesterday. That was a lot of fun. So great to meet everybody. And again, if you're interested in being a storm spotter for the National Weather Service, but then above and beyond that, for East Tennessee weather, go take the course and let me know. Oh, thanks, Ann. Jeez, you guys are really nice this morning. My win, not that you're not every morning, but just being really nice. I appreciate it. Let's see. Lori's ready for some pool weather. Some snow flurries would be fine with me. Pretty to watch, but doesn't cause an issue. These are the kind of snow showers that aren't going to cause any issues whatsoever. So the further east past Knoxville it is supposed to weaken. Yes, that is the truth. The further east you are from, say, the Cumberland Plateau, but from downtown Knoxville, the better chance of this weakening turning into a heavy rain event. Download the app. I have it, and it's wonderful, says Heather. Thanks, Heather. Sorry, Lisa. I saw it was somebody's birthday. I'm trying to see where it was. We can search it, though. So you're celebrating your grandfather's 80th birthday today. Happy birthday, Michael Moody Sr. That's awesome. There we go. Got a lot of birthday shout-outs there. Great stuff. Let's see. You've been thinking about it just to learn more about the weather. I have some weather anxiety, and I was thinking that if I understood it better, it might help. Ignorance is bliss sometimes, Jill, but sometimes the more you know, you're like, As a meteorologist, the more I know sometimes keeps me from flying airplanes while other folks would just take off. I'm like, okay, it's going to be too windy. I'm not doing that. Or it's going to be stormy. Or, sometimes ignorance is bliss. But you should become a Witcher Weather Watcher, Jill. It's a lot of fun. It's a great group of people. Great group of people. All kind, genuine, love weather, knowledgeable, and informative all at the same time. And there's a lot of, on the chat, you'll get SKUTs and log Ps, and you'll get information about snow and storms. And it's a good way to learn more about weather because there's a lot of knowledgeable people on the platform. I need snow to save for an old wise tale. But Jill, sometimes ignorance is bliss, but the more you know, maybe the more you understand. Listen, we've gotten like 15, 16 tornadoes in 75 years in Knox County, okay? Some areas are a little bit more prone to tornadoes. But damaging wind, we get more damaging wind than any other severe weather here in East Tennessee. And so that's always one of those things that don't let your guard down when damaging wind gusts, or the potential anyways for damaging wind gusts, moves its way into the area. All right, I got some great Witchers pictures to share with you this morning. Wow. Let's see. I'm just opening them up and checking them out. We showed you Wade's from yesterday. Andrew Shaw posted this one on there. Ooh, love that one. Sign of some ice crystals in the atmosphere. Oops. So a beautiful halo around the sun today, Saturday in Clinton, Tennessee. Halo or solar halo caused by sunlight passing through ice crystals high in the atmosphere. Pretty cool sight to see. That is a really cool sight to see. Cameron. There we go. Part of the St. Patrick's Day celebrations with the bus. I love it, Cameron. Let's see. We also had another one. That's my competitor, Cameron. I'm not going to throw that on TV. Had a really cool sunset yesterday. This one's coming in from Laura Gorney, good friend of ours. Nice little sunset yesterday evening. We had one from Julie as well. Great little sunset from yesterday. Is that sunset or sunrise? I'm going to say, I think you said sunset. That was good morning. No, that was this morning. Sunrise from Whitesburg and Hamlin County. We had Cameron also. Let's see. Sunrise at Mount Roosevelt Overlook in Rockwood. This is really cool, Cameron. Great view. Look at that. That is a place to see the sunrise. No doubt about that. But wait a second. When was this taking shape? Because it looks like, is there snow or is that spray painted? Is that spray painted on there, Cameron? It almost looks like snow on top of that, doesn't it? Let's see what Cameron says this morning. Yes, it is. What's up, Cindy? Joining us from Morristown this morning. How are you this morning? I will post the link. If you want to go to the website, just go to easttnweather.com. Roberta, become a Witcher Weather. She's like, I want to be a Witcher Weather watcher. As you should. Oh, that was snow. When was that? Let's see. When did you say that was? That was your grandfather's birthday present that he wanted. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Great stuff right there, Cameron. I love it. And I love to see the bus, the school bus. Great halo as well. All right, so for those of you that were tuning in late, we'll just kind of run through a little bit of the forecast here once again here, and then we'll kind of wrap things up, of course. If you're on the East Tennessee Weather app, I've got a full, detailed, full forecast. But we've got a strong cold front heading our way. And so with this strong cold front comes a lot of energy, instability, buoyancy in the atmosphere. We've got a lot of moisture surging in out ahead of this frontal boundary as well. And that's going to produce a line of strong to severe thunderstorms, a lot of instability, and there is some spin in the atmosphere that could lead to an isolated tornado threat. Better chance for all that back to our west, and conditions will deteriorate after 7 p.m. tonight in West Tennessee. So Memphis, Nashville, anytime after 7 p.m. For us here locally, it's going to be after midnight tonight, so it's going to be a late night and a rough night for a lot of us. Severe weather outlook by the Storm Prediction Center, we're mostly under a level 2. With a level 2 risk for damaging winds, that's up to a 15% probability, and a level 1 and level 2 risk for isolated tornadoes. And the brown shaded area is going to be the greatest extent for an isolated tornado due to the fact that we have a little bit more spin, a little bit more instability in the atmosphere. So if you live anywhere from, say, Scott County all the way down to Monroe County towards Chattanooga, you have a better or a greater threat. Now, they will be isolated in nature. No guarantee, obviously, that we're going to see that, but there is a better shot for damaging wind gusts because we've got a lot of wind in the atmosphere, so a very dynamic situation. So medium category for damaging winds. It's going to be a rough night here tonight. But back behind this storm system, Old Man Winter is going to make a return to the area, and it's going to be a cold, raw winter like Monday, or winter Monday anyways. Now, this morning's great, and this afternoon's going to be fantastic as well, as we are going to top out in the 70s today. But as we pick up our timeline on our Futurecast at 7 o'clock tonight, we're rain-free. But 7 to midnight, here comes our storm. Now, give or take an hour, this could speed up a little bit or maybe even slow down a little bit. But the general idea is going to be after midnight tonight to about 2 o'clock in the morning. I think from, say, basically midnight to about 4 o'clock in the morning is going to be our window for severe. But after 4 o'clock, it turns into a heavy rain event. So it's going to be a soggy and slow-going start to our Monday as the kids head off to school and you head off to work. And then back behind it, grab the winter coats because while it's going to be, well, we're starting the morning off in the 40s, we're going to fall into the 30s, and our official high temperature for Monday is probably going to be in the 60s after midnight tonight, and some light snow developing throughout the day tomorrow. No travel troubles expected. We're going to pick up nearly an inch of rainfall around the area with some light snow and flurries flying in the lower elevations, but when you take in melting and compaction, this is the more likely scenario. So no major accumulations expected. Maybe some areas, grassy areas, rooftops, back roads, cars. That should be about the extent of it. The wind is going to start to really pick up throughout the day and especially overnight tonight as the cold front approaches. That's going to bring us some strong wind gusts. Right now we have a wind advisory for Fentress and Cumberland County, but the National Weather Service talking about the fact that they may issue a wind advisory for the rest of East Tennessee and a high wind warning for the mountains where the winds are going to be gusting upwards of 65 to 70 miles per hour. So tanking temperatures on Monday, we start off at 43, we'll fall to 36 with wind chill values in the 20s and 30s. Then we climb back to 40 on Tuesday, 50 degrees on Wednesday, and then we're going to be near 70 next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But it's going to be a great, fantastic Sunday. So I hope you have a chance to get out and enjoy it today. Highly recommend it. Get ready for the work week, maybe do some grocery shopping and running some errands today. Enjoy it. Roll the windows, open the windows of the house unless you have allergies and you're starting to suffer from allergies, which we do, and we are here in the Witcher family. And make sure you tune in. Now, have a way to receive weather information tonight before you head off to bed. NOAA Weather Radio, multiple sources to wake you up, and check in if it starts rumbling around your area. Check in with the East Tennessee Weather app. Go download the app today. Once again, I'll put that link in the chat here this morning for those of you that may and don't have the app itself. I'll throw it in the chat one more time. There it is. So I just threw it in there. Click on that link, and that will take you to your app store, where you can download the East Tennessee Weather app. Allow notifications and location services. Those are two very important things that you have to, or should, I recommend that you should anyways, because it works anywhere, and you want to be alerted with any bad weather, no matter where you may travel to. And I know some of you don't want apps to track you, but listen, our cell phones are tracking us anyways. And I don't do anything with that information, so please trust in me and allow it to track you, because that's going to be your best resource. If you get a lightning notification, click on it. It takes you to the interactive radar that gives you past, current, and future radar of 2 hours. And don't forget, if you have smart TVs, to download the East Tennessee Weather app on your smart TVs. Roku, Amazon Fire, and YouTube are going to be great resources, so you get a bigger visual of what's taking shape as these storms move into our area. I'll be doing live coverage, hopefully not severe, but I'll be doing live coverage here as the storms approach later on tonight, so make sure you check back in. All right, have a great Sunday. Be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short, and I'll see you back here tonight.
Standing up in front of an army, shoes in the mud and the wet paint, twists and turns up the alley, just like it should. So your colors, they start, and it's stripping you